Um, this is to my friends that are Christian. Yes, we do have Christian friends. We grew up in the Baptist church ourselves. We didn't grow up in this culture, and I have not dissed my friends because of their religion, but they know how I feel about it. I was once where they are. This is to my Christian friends and just Christians in general that may stumble across this. This is for anybody that want to maybe share this with their Christian family or friends. And it's related to the virus, the COVID virus, the so-called coronavirus. Stop it. Stop it. All the signs of the time stuff, the end of the world finna come. Not saying a lot of people are saying that, but y'all sure thought it was finna be the end of the world in 2012 for some reason. If it's gonna be the end of any world, it's gonna be the end of your oppressor's world, end of their world as they know it. And that's what's happening. That's a whole different, it ain't got nothing to do with no Islamic Quran, no Jewish Torah, no Christian Bible at all. All that made up stuff has nothing to do with it. Stop it though. The same stuff every year. Forgive me for this, we gotta readjust here. This same, excuse us for the technical difficulties there. This same attitude of talking about the end is near because when something happens, they've been doing that every year since the foundation of Christianity. A little bit close to 1700 years ago. No, it is not 2,000 years old. It's 1700 years old due to Constantine. So, every year, now they did this amongst themselves. This is before they got African people into captivity and forced them into various forms of biblical religions. That's just a fact. Trace the history. You weren't in this religion, especially West Africans, before you put into captivity. You weren't into Islam before the Muslims invaded West Africa. That's just a fact. So, are you a puppet? Puppets go either way, whoever pulling the strings. Quit the doomsday talk every time something happens. This is a sign. This is the president that carries the 666. Which one is it? Is it Bush or is it Trump? Was it Kennedy? Because some people say it was Kennedy. Which one? Which one? When the world is going to end? Every year for 1700 years, Christians been saying this is the end of the world when something happens. Bubonic plague, the crackers in Europe. Oh, it's over with. This is prophesied. That's the thing. You always talk about something is prophesied because it happens to slightly line up with something that was said in a book made up by some Jews in the 6th century BCE when they were in Babylonian captivity and they were talking about their people. They were not talking about anybody but their people. And they were speaking in coded language a lot of times to their people. That book has no relevance to African people. Really ain't got no relevance to nobody but Jews, honestly. But anyway, but we let white folks, pour their own poison, as they say. And other non-Africans, they pour their own poison. I'm only concerned about African people, new African people. I'm going to need y'all to do a little studying. I know y'all ain't really studying. This is no offense. A lot of y'all that's watching this that don't study got master's degrees, some got doctorate degrees or whatnot. So it ain't that I'm calling you stupid or anything like that. So don't read nothing into that. I just know that you're not studying. Just do a little history, little study of history and see where they've been saying this same thing for 1700 years. And it has not happened yet. This doomsday, this end of the world, this disease is a sign of this and that, of a prophecy in such and such book that's made up by somebody else that was made up. It never happens. When y'all gonna figure that one out? It never happens. Don't get it. Don't get it. The only way I could get that y'all don't get it and still saying this stuff, I would have to believe that you're totally ignorant of his history. Totally ignorant. Not saying everybody's supposed to be a historian, but you have to be totally, totally ignorant of the history of Christianity, the very religion that you believe in, the history of Islam, the very religion that you believe in, and Judaism, to not know that the same cycle happens very periodic, in a periodic fashion, as a matter of fact. If you can't see that after studying the history, then I'm going to have to question, are you drinking, they put lead in your water or something? I got to figure out, it's like I got to find an excuse to find out, to justify rather, why African people are acting so non-African, so not in their rightful birthright. These are the same people that say they descend from kings and queens, built the pyramids. We did this, we did that. We had this great civilization. We ain't had nothing since we was Christian and Muslim, especially in this country. If we did all this and that, then why are we so oblivious to facts, to the facts of history? Constantine pretty much made up the Christian religion as an organized religion. And he said he would conquer with the religion. He was talking about conquering his own people. So imagine what they was going to do when they brought it to you. Tying you to a post, whipping you, making you answer to a name that wasn't your name. That thing in Roots, that's actually true. That's actually true. There were Africans that, like, no, that I don't know what name that is you trying to give me, but that ain't my name. And they wouldn't submit to that name. And they got whipped. Of course, many of them escaped the plantation. They started maroon societies. They rebelled. We noticed that America has done a very, very good job of quieting that part of history, how rebellious we were here in North America, how we created many independent societies, African societies, escaping from the plantation, oftentimes escaping from the ship, also escaping from the auction block, never ever becoming captive at all, or so-called slaves at all. They've done a good job, but due to people like ourselves, they can't tell that lie anymore. But wake up, really, seriously, it's time out for the silly stuff with the bedtime story Bible, for real, Christian Bible. No, really. Every something gonna happen next 2 years. That's gonna be sign of the times too. Definitely in a 10-year period, at that 10-year mark is when they usually ramp up that the cyclical things that happen, whereas the Christians start jumping up and down. Yeah, this is it right here. They're gonna be doing that for the next 3,000 years if Christianity is still around then. The end of the world, the end of the world, end of the world. And those people 3,000 years from now are going to be just that smothered by Christianity. It smothers your common sense. It smothers your, what we call your ori in Yoruba. Christianity, Islam, Judaism smothers you. It makes you have to not be intelligent for a moment. Otherwise, you're brilliant. But you got to turn it off to believe in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. You got to turn it off. Because the common sense factor, if you just apply that, you don't have to be a scholar. You'll be like, well, yeah, none of that makes sense. They just got through running around with this Easter thing. Really, they're celebrating Astarte, a sex goddess from the Middle East. It's in the name, Easter. That's a Germanized, Anglo-Saxon Germanized version of Astarte. Easter, Astarte. They still run around here hiding Easter eggs. The problem is adults, you can kill yourself if you want to, but you're taking the children with you. And this is why we can't grow as a people. I'm talking about African people. I can care less about European people, Yovo, non-Africans that are following this fallacy also. Quit it. The virus is a virus. There are no 5G towers that's causing this virus. There's that Christian God, first of all, doesn't exist. That no devil is causing this. Devil doesn't exist. Satan doesn't exist. Satan can't exist if all that other stuff is made up in the Christian Bible. They made up Satan. So quit. Once you face reality, how people say face reality, and then you could move on. New African people face reality. That all that stuff is a myth. It's a myth made up. Jesus never existed. Go to JesusNeverExisted.com. There's a plethora of information on there. Abraham, none of them never existed. So these prophecies are made up. Because they never happen, for one thing. They never come true. Now you can, in your smothered brain, when you're not using that divine orrery that you were born with as an African, you'll believe it. You'll some kind of way, if a bird lands on a tree out here, and if I was smothered with Christianity, I can make that fit some kind of way into that false book called the Christian Bible. I can make it fit. Look, that's a sign. It said the bird will land on the... Get out of here. Come on. Come on. If you're going to believe in that stuff, you may as well believe that Little Red Riding Hood was a real person. Humpty Dumpty was a real person. Jack and Jill, they were real people. The gingerbread man can get out of an oven after being cooked at 400 degrees and run around. He ain't got no lungs or nothing and no veins, but he can run around. Mother Goose, you might as well believe in her. A lady, you may as well believe a lady lived in a shoe that had so many children she did not know what to do. Why not believe in that, but believe in Jonah was in the belly of a whale 3 days and survived? Why not believe that in Little Red Riding Hood when you believe that a woman who births children into the world was taken from the rib of a man? We don't care how kind of you come with the new metaphors about it and all that. No, that was symbolic. Ain't nothing symbolic about that. Ain't nothing. A woman cannot come from a man, even in a symbolic way. But then there are many people that actually believe that. And of course, she brought sin into the world. The man had to birth her, and then she messed up. She talked to a snake. If you're going to believe in this, she talked to the snake, why you can't believe that there's a lady in a shoe right now? Maybe a Nike in this day and age. Reebok, Adidas, Timberland. Maybe that's the kind, yeah, Timberland. Drop the child's games. Drop the childhood stories, bedtime stories, and come into your African self. Our contact information is in the video description. We say to you, Odigba. That means until the next time. To our enemies, we say just like Rollo said on Fred Sanford, but we say it in a different way. Odabo Jack.